Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Croatia. A circuit based, obviously, in Croatia is Dragon Trail Seaside, but Croatia itself is a very special place. It's known for its tourism, in particular, as one of the key points of its economy. It also relies on this fabulous coastline where Dragon Trail Seaside is based upon, as Joey Dunlop goes into the wall at the chicane. Got Danzo there. We've also famous for many other matters, including Dubrovnik, one of the most spectacular, rich, incredible places that you might ever see in Europe. But tonight, Croatia holds a special place on our screens as it presents round 2 of NXTGEN Fordyce's BMW M3 E30 League for races 3 and 4 of round 2 of this championship. I'm Jack TM53, your commentator for tonight. A live event for round 2. It's a rarity, it'll probably be the only time this season, but it's good to be commentating on this league. We have a few minutes until qualifying is due to start, 3 to be precise. We'll have a look at the drivers who are in the room. There's 13 currently. I believe there's 1 who is missing. I'm just trying to go through the names to see who is missing. I think it's Adam who is missing at the moment. Make sure he gets himself into the lobby. But I will run through the championship standings then. So as we go through after the first 2 rounds at round 1, races rather at one of those days. After the first 2 races at round 1, that was at the Nürburgring, of course. We had NXTGEN Les leading the championship on 38 points. We're on screen with him at the moment, and that yellow and black BMW M3 there. 38 points following a race win and a 3rd place. Adam ID, who are waiting to get in for the lobby, he's on 37 points. Mehanesta, 90. Where is Mehanesta? There he is, 98. I'm looking at my championship standings. A little bit wrong from the graphic on the screen. He's on 32. He took the reverse race victory on Monday last week. He got on 32 points. There is Adam. He has joined. That's good to see. 2nd place in the championship. Important to have him in. But Mehanesta, he's on 32. Rally Matt 85 is on 28 points. He's in 4th. Rally Matt has looked relatively alright so far in practice. 5th place is 4Fish on 23 points. Traumatic Dave is in 6th in the championship on 21. Bruce Lee Hardin is on 20 points. He's in 7th place. Had a bit of a tough time last week, did Bruce. So hopefully in his Fallout car he'll be able to go a little bit better this week. NXTGEN Danzo is in 8th place in the championship on 16. Joey Dunlop 3 is 9th on 15. And 1805 rounds out the top 10 on 14 points. There are 4 other drivers, of course, in the championship. Bigsy, Duds, Doves and Tim78. Those are in their particular order. Now, let's have a look at the Twitch chat. See who've commented. Hello to everyone who is in the chat room at the moment. I know there is a comment that's come through. It's Budweiser saying hello. Hi to you, Budweiser. I hope you're doing okay. But it should be a fascinating contest, this one, around Dragon Trail. It's a difficult circuit, obviously, with the notorious chicane of death as it's been known in the Gran Turismo sport community. You see Bruce Lee just coming towards the preparing zone, so to speak, as it's classed as. There's a lot of different corners on the circuit to try and consider and comprehend on this track. It's not an easy one in any way, shape or form. A mixture of fast corners and tight apexes. You've got to make sure you get a line right as Bruce Lee goes flying through the chicane of death. Conor Minnis, unfortunately, unable to race tonight. It's just commented in the chat there. It is a shame not to be able to have him in. 2 races, unfortunately, Conor's missed out on, but we're hoping to have him back as soon as we can. We will see how he gets on when he gets the chance to enter in the coming rounds. But a lot to look forward to for tonight's race. A lot of interesting stories. Here goes Danzo now, just putting the qualifier together. Danzo hosting for this week as Bruce Lee does a nice big spin. Nice little bit of screen time for Bruce there whilst I was setting a few different tables up on my lap. So 10 minutes of qualifying then for the 14 drivers that are in the lobby. Who's going to be first out? It is 4Fish who gets out first then. Should cut to him. There we go. coming into what is known as turn 1 on the reverse circuit, of course. Obviously the corners are inverted as opposed to those that were tuned in last week on last Thursday for the Megans. So a little bit different for the drivers to try and comprehend, and a couple of the drivers bemoaning in the pre-race chat. They were saying that they have to do Dragon Trail 4 times in the space of 4 days, so they weren't too best pleased about it. Fordyce just gets a little bit sideways on the curbs coming out of turn number 5 there. Fordyce will be expecting a little bit more. He was fine last week, he was solid and consistent, but he got him into the mix a little bit more than what he would have liked. He looks relatively quick in practice. He wasn't too far away from Les, who was the pre-practice pace setter, and indeed during practice as well. So opportunities for Fordyce. He's got a chance here. The BM is interesting around this circuit on the hard tyres. It's very much a case of momentum as opposed to grip on the harder tyres. The mediums have a little bit more play, a little bit more bite, and it might just close the field up a little bit more. So it'll be down to those who can get the hard tyres working in this qualifying session. Thanks, Budweiser. I'm glad you appreciate it. Megans were fantastic around Dragon Trail last week, both Lobby 1 and Lobby 2, like you say. CJW Racing, of course, commentating on Lobby 1. And I commentate on Lobby 2. I'm sure we're in for a fascinating Megans season. And the BMWs have got us little stories to tell, I'm sure they will do. A couple of drivers who certainly have put their marker forward for the championship already. And Mehanesta's going to be one to watch out for. He did win, of course, last week at the Nürburgring. Just see the Les 18.05. There's Danzo coming across the lines to start the lap. Studs and Adam ID side by side. Adam, a bit of a dark horse, really, at the Nürburgring. No one expected him to be as competitive as he was. That's not to say he's not a quick driver. That's far from it for Adam, as he goes very deep into turn 3 and got that all wrong. But Adam put in a really good performance. 2 second places. Certainly not one to shy away from a battle is Adam. And it's going to be curious to see if he can keep up that progress tonight. There's Rally Matt, another driver who's certainly quick. Made a lovely transition from Project Cars 2 to GT Sport. In that bright blue and white livery, I have to say, I mentioned this last week, it's a very nice looking livery he's designed. There's Traumatic Dave, one of the league hosts. Just coming through that very quick section. Through turns 6, 7 and 8 and up through 9 now as he comes over the rise. Flat through there is the M3. There's Bruce Lee, there's Joey Dunlop. Mehanesta, watch out for him. In that most wanted 2005 game livery. Replica, so to speak. Bigsy's there as well. Hi to Martin as well, who's just commented in the chat. There's Doves. Doves and Tim, that's going to be another little sort of story to go along for this season. These two both trying to improve, trying to get themselves up to speed in the M3s. It's going to take them time. Tim especially, having been out of racing for a season, but he's back again. Goes very deep into the hairpin there at turn number 11. Flies straight to the wall. So Fordyce sets the initial pace then. He's done a 1:52.7, but there's Les with a 51.4. Cracking time from Les. 18.05 goes third quickest. What about Danzo and Duds? They've gone currently into the top 5 for the time being. Dramatic Daves moves into the top 5. There's Duds in 4th. Joey Dunlop setting lap times. Bigsy comes in. Great lap time from Bigsy. He's in 4th place. Had a nice little run behind Mehanesta, who, I must say, Mehanesta, the only American in the field, also tends to have his wipers on. It's a bit of a peculiar one. I mentioned that last week, but he does have them on quite often. Fantastic camera angle there. Dove's just setting a 2-minute 1 opening lap, and Tim setting a 2-minute 6. So those two both 9 and 14 seconds behind respectively. But let's be honest, we know that those two can go quicker. We saw it last week. And I think if Doves and Tim can get within 5 seconds of the pace, they'd be very, very happy with that. And they should be proud of that, considering the transition. Bruce Lee Harden, he's in 10th at the moment, in the top 10, 3.8 off the pace. There's a spinner. That's Danzo. Someone else has gone round as well. I can't quite make out who that is. So I'll try and have a quick check through. It's 1805 in the Thatcher's car. It's gone off. Someone else in front of him has gone off. It's Joey Dunlop. So, bit of a drama in qualifying already. 4.5 minutes to go. Hopefully the drivers can avoid that sort of issue. I'm hoping it was just an accident more than anything else. Just quick comments in there. So, Budweiser saying supporting Dud's CF14 tonight. Fantastic little race driver. As are they all. 1805 apologises, so I think 1805 got it wrong. But Duds is a quick driver, we've seen it in the Megans, but let's cut forward to Les. We're going a lap with him then, as he comes in towards turn number 1, completely flat in the M3s, as is in most cars. Then right on the brakes down into turns 2 and 3. In third gear, Les clips the car in on the apex, runs it over the curb, and lets the car drift out over that red line. Got to be careful of the gravel on the inside. A little kink at 4, which we wouldn't really call a corner, to be honest, and it's not classified in the FIA's corners. Completely flat through this section, and then on the brakes down into third into turn 5. The car swoops in nicely from Les, runs a little bit wide, kept the power in, shouldn't have lost too much momentum from there as he approaches turns 6, 7 and 8. This is turn 7, this left-hander. Nicely done from Les. He's run a touch wide, but he doesn't compromise on his throttle, so he's not done too badly at all through there. Completely flat coming over the crest at turn 9. Turn 10 under the little Pirelli signs, pretty straightforward. It's also flat, but you've got to get your braking right on for 11 at the yellow and, well, rather the white and black curbs. Drifts it through, does Les, loses a little bit of momentum, but he's still 9/10 clear on his best lap so far. Then we come into the chicane of death, as dubbed by the community. That's turn 13, completely flat, as is 14. You've got to hook this up properly. Oh, and Les has hit the wall, and round he goes. We'll cut to Fordyce, who's a little bit further ahead. So, on board now with Fordyce as he comes towards the final corner at turn 18. On the brakes, down into third. It's a wider entry, and then flings the car up through the hill, which he does nicely, and up to the line he should go. A little bit of lag from Fordyce, but it's sorted itself out. So what's his lap time as he comes towards the line? It's a 1:51.888. He's still roughly just half a second behind at the moment. Les obviously hitting the wall, tried to take as much momentum as he could through there. Didn't quite pay off for him though. Dramatic Davies in 6th, coming towards the line now. This looks to be a potential improvement, is it? No, not quite. A little bit shy of the lap time. Rally Matt doesn't improve. What about Bigsy? Doesn't improve. Mehanesta does. He moves up to 4th. That's a strong lap time from him and Bruce Lee in that train there, which will just help pull him along a little bit. Danzo improves. Adam ID improves, as does Joey Dunlop. So a lot of action going on in the midfield. Adam ID, 2 second places last, and then a horrible bit of lag in the lobby, so I'm hoping that doesn't continue, and I hope it's certainly not from my end, otherwise that's going to be very much a problem. So Adam, he's got one more lap to do. I don't think he'll have enough time to set another lap, so he's got to get it right on this one. He's got to move himself up through the field to keep up his early season momentum from the Nürburgring. What's his lap? He's 1.3 down. So Adam doesn't look as if he's going to improve. Someone's gone. It's just Duds who's pulled over to the side. So Duds in 6th. That's the end of his lap and his qualifying session, so he won't go any higher than 6th place. Bigsy fighting hard with Mehanesta as Bruce Lee goes sideways through turn number 11. Cars have to be line astern through here. There is a rule for the drivers to say that unless they are alongside the car in front, they cannot go 2x2. Oh, Bruce Lee goes deep. He slides up against the wall, and I think that might have just cost him any chance of improvement. It's going to be very tight as to whether these three get towards the line. I think Rally Matt will just make it for one more lap. We'll ride on board with Bigsy, because we'll be able to watch Mehanesta as they come round that final corner. Both drivers giving it the absolute limit of the track. So Rally Matt, you can see if up a field ahead of you, he's going to get to the end of the line. Mehanesta does as well, but no, he doesn't. So Mehanesta improved within a second, but that's it for him. Bigsy's 5th. Where is Bruce Lee Harden? He's only 9th. So I'd make that 10th because Joey Dunlop improves. Adam ID in 11th. Danzo's seen a checkered flag. Where's 1805? He will be next to set a lap time. Looked like he was on a personal best. 155.3 so far is his best time. It's only 3/10ths off the back of Adam ID. So all to play for in that bright yellow car. Swings round the little kink. Towards the line, then comes 1805. What's his lap time? He moves up to 11th. It's a 55 flat. Just about clears Adam ID. Now, looking further up the field, Rally Matt's on a lap still, but it's Fordyce who should be next up. There's another car further ahead, but I can't quite make out who it is. I'll very quickly try and slide through, but they're all going to see the checkered flag, so we're going to go back to Fordyce. They haven't improved, whoever they are, but Fordyce on that final corner now takes a wider line. It looks like he's got a better exit this time. Bruce saying he's been blocked in qualifying, so not ideal. Certainly not happy to comment about it. Fordyce doesn't improve. Unfortunately for him, there's another car in the middle of all this who's trying to set a lap time. Right on the floor camera of Rally Matt. Can't quite make out who it is who's coming towards the line, unfortunately. I'm not going to cut to them. Nothing from them. So Rally Matt, he comes towards the line. I don't think this is going to be an improvement. It isn't. Rally Matt sees the checkered flag. Is there anyone else on a lap time? It's Doves, but he's not going to improve with a 3:04. So it's NXTGEN Les who takes pole position at Dragon Trail. Second week in a row now. Les setting a precedent. It's got the speed as the spam driver. Fordyce, his good friend, joined him on that front row with Rally Matt and Mehanesta on the second row. Hopefully no issues from now until the end of this first race. Let's get into it. NXTGEN Les then on the right hand side of your screen in that yellow and black livery. Fordyce in the grey and blue on the left. Watch out for the row 2, Rally Matt and Mehanesta as they come towards the line. Here come the numbers. Well, away we go then. It was a very peculiar start, but Les has got off. Some drivers are all over the place as they come towards turn number 1, but it's NXTGEN Les. Fordyce has gone backwards. I'm not sure what's happened to him. Mehanesta in second place. Rally Matt is third. Caught everybody out, including the commentator. So Les is trying to lead into turn 1, but Mehanesta looking at the inside. There's Rally Matt 2. Oh, Les has been hit by Mehanesta. I think there was contact. Les climbs back onto the circuit. Not a good start for him. Himself and Fordyce, the front two, all the way down the field already. So Mehanesta leads the way on lap 1. If there was contact, that'll be debated in the stewards' chat. Joey Dunlop is second. Rally Matt is third. There's Dramatic Davis up to 4th. Oh, that's a green. Doves going sideways through the gravel trap. He's just about managed to hold on to the car. Looked very messy. Very messy that was indeed. So Mehanesta leads the way with his windscreen wipers on. Joey Dunlop is second. Great start for Joey. He's flew up the field. And all the cars filtering their way through turns number 6, 7, 8 and 9 now. There's Rally Matt, there's Dramatic Dave. Bruce Lee Hardin up from 10th place. I'm going to have to back out and come back in to try and get these camera angles. They're on board with Danzo as BMWs go one by one into turn number 11. That's Rally Matt getting up the inside of Joey Dunlop. Joey Dunlop fighting back. A little bit of contact coming out of that corner. Rally Matt is going to be the one alongside him. Can they go side by side through here? They're going to try, but Rally Matt thinks better of it. They're still side by side. They're giving each other room. It's going to have to be very, very careful. Dramatic Dave's got his line wrong. Is he going to clip the wall? No, he's not. He's got away with it. Bruce Lee's trying to avoid him. Adam ID goes up the inside. Here comes Duds as well. So a lost momentum costs 2 cars 2 places. And Adam ID and Duds move up from 4th to 5th. And Bruce Lee and Dramatic Dave go 6, 7. Not ideal for those two through the chicane. Had to try and get the line right. Mehanesta has gone and off up the road. He's got a big gap already to Rally Matt. 2.4 seconds, so Rally Matt's made a little error somewhere. There's Duds on the inside, but he's not got the momentum. He should just filter in, which he does. Bruce Lee Hardin up into 5th place then. Les trying to recover back from whatever happened to him at turn 1. We couldn't quite catch it. It looked like there was contact. On the brakes, down into turn 2. for the spam driver. Gets himself past 18.05. He's right on the back of the field in front of him. Still got plenty of time, does Les. But he's going to have to work methodically to try and get through these cars. Danzo's 9th, there's 18.05. Rather, Bigsy in 10th. Dove's in his 11th place. Tim's 12th, and there's Fourfish. And 18.05's gone round. I thought there was a car that had gone spinning coming out of turn 3, and unfortunately for 18.05, that would be him. Mehanesta did have 2.4, it's 1.4. So he's being closed already. Don't know if that was a mistake. Riley Matt 2nd. Joey Dunlop tracking him in 3rd place. Joey looking for a podium in this series. Got a nice little gap to Adam. Adam had a fantastic start, up to 4th from 11th. And as it stands, championship leader, potentially, depending on where he finishes in relation to Mehanesta. Bruce Lee's in 5th and sideways, but he keeps the car in a straight line. But he's going to have Les bearing down on him as they come through the chicane for the 2nd time of asking, clipping the wall as close as they dare to. Les keeps so much momentum, but he doesn't get the line right, and Traumatic Dave's going to say thank you for the opportunity. Up the inside is the blue and black car as they come towards the penultimate corner, so to speak. Doves has left the room, so oh, there's a car round in the background as well. I think Fourfish has gone round. I may be wrong. Oh, that's Traumatic Dave. He's put too much power down, and through goes Les. Got to be careful Duds doesn't catch him. I don't think he will with the momentum. Further up the field, Adam ID swings past Joey Dunlop with the momentum. Adam ID up to 3rd. Oh, Bruce Lee got that all wrong into the chicane. It's going to cost him. He's in the wrong gear as well, for that matter. He's going to lose 2 places. And there you go, Bruce Lee from 5th to 7th in the matter of 1 corner. So a lot of action already. Wasn't Fourfish that went round. My apologies to Fourfish. It was in fact 18.05 who went around. And Tim in 13th. And almost in the gravel trap too. But still Mehanesta leading the way in that BMW. Followed by Rally Matt, who's got fastest lap that last time around, but Mehanesta building the gap again. Certainly not giving up with out of fight as the American driver. There's Adam. Not pulled away from Joey, but these two will be joined by Les shortly, I can guarantee it. You see how much time Les gained on the brakes as opposed to the cars in front of him. You could see why he was almost half a second clear in qualifying. It's going to be tough for the drivers to stop Les this season. But right now, he's 4.5 seconds off the lead. An opportunity beckons itself. That's Joey Dunlop into the wall. Oh, he got his line all wrong. Oh, and they've made contact. Unfortunately for Traumatic Dave, he's gone round as a result of the incident with Joey Dunlop. Joey Dunlop just hit the wall. I'm not quite certain what happened to Joey. He's just got his line completely wrong. And with a quarter of the race gone, Joey Dunlop has fallen from a podium place right down to 10th. And he's took his mate with him too. And that's allowed Les up to 3rd. He's on the inside as they come towards turn. What, he's cleared Adam ID. Adam's going to look on the brakes at the inside. He's not close enough. So Les fighting back in this championship fight already. After his problems at turn 1, he can see Rally Matt for 2nd. Laying down a marker is Les. There's Adam in 4th. Duds is 5th. Another quiet race from Duds, but he's just getting along with it as he needs to. Similar to what he did in the Megans on Thursday. Getting along quite well though is the Mercedes liveried BMW. Still looks wrong on that car. There's Adam just tracking Les through the sweepers of 6, 7, 8 and 9. Les didn't get the best of exits, and sure enough Adam's going to be knocking on the door coming into turn number 11. Will he look for a move up the inside? He's got his nose there, but not enough for him to make a move. But that's Matt wide. Can Les take advantage? He's just clipped the back of Rally Matt. It's going to be side by side. Who's going to yield in this one? They're both going for it. Side by side through the chicane. One of them's going to have to yield, surely. They're not both going to make it through, and sure enough, Les has just about got away with it. Adam holds onto the slide. He's going to try and take advantage of that, but he's lost his momentum. He's still going to be on the inside, coming towards turn number 18. Can he get the move completed? He can. And into third goes Adam, and he's shut the door on Les, and Les hits the back of him. So Adam ID gets a little bump forward, and despite Les setting fastest lap, he's lost the place, and the gap's gone out to 6.5 seconds. So Mehanesta leading the way, and he's got a nice 5-second lead over Rally Matt. It's going well for the American driver. Adam ID still trying to fend off Les. Les is up the inside coming out of turn 3. He's not quite alongside him yet. He's going to have a look into turn 4. Adam's trying to shut the door. They can't do that on one another. Adam's held it. Les has held it. Adam's got to be careful. He can't shut the door when there's a car alongside him. That's definitely going to be one for the stewards to look into. No closing doors. It's very tight, admittedly. But if there's a car a fraction alongside, got to keep the space. He hasn't got the line right as Adam coming through turn 9. Flicks over the crest. In towards turn 10 now, over the Pirelli, or rather underneath the Pirelli bridge. Not that there's a bridge. On the outside goes Les. Adam feeling the need to defend. Both sideways coming through turn number 11. Fantastic to watch the M3. He's really good. Delta 1971 just put a comment in before saying, watching race on phone, hoping Fiver comes back ASAP. Hope it does. Look at Les, he's putting the pressure on at the moment. There's a car that's spun round. I think that's Tim who's gone around on the circuit. Will Les make a late lunge? Well, he thought, well, Adam has invited the door wide open. And nothing he could have done about that. And Les flies straight through. Little sort of dummy look to the inside, and I think Adam braked later, anticipating it. It didn't come along, so Adam in 4th then. Les up to 3rd. He's got 2 seconds and 10 minutes left to make it up on Rally Matt. Bruce Lee's in 5th. He's got Duds behind him, so he's got past Duds so far. And just watching at the moment, looking at Duds, he's in 6th place. 4 Fish on his recovery, he's up into 7th now. Comment just in there from Budweiser. That was actually reviewed on that point. And I will make a comment about this, John, on the McGann race on Thursday. There was lag involved on that note. So from our side of things, on the spectators' view, from what you can see, it actually was a lot different on what the drivers saw. So Dominator just unlucky on that one. But 4 Fish in 7th. And looking at his lap times, he's a little bit quicker than Duds and Bruce Lee. Oh, there's a car round. That's Les. Les has gone round. What has happened to Les? He was on his own. He's gone round, coming out of turn number 8. And all of a sudden, Biggsy goes through. Danzo's probably going to get him up the inside. He's already cleared him by a country mile. Next gen Les, the fastest man on circuit, P1 in qualifying, is down to 9th. So Adam ID leads the championship currently. He'll move himself onto 52 points after 3 races. Mehanesta, he'll be 2nd now in the championship. So is the American, very early stages in this championship, of course, but he's put in a very good drive so far. His lap times in the 52s, best lap of a 52 flat, and Rally Matt is on his way though. Rally Matt's now got himself into a position where he doesn't need to worry about anyone behind. He's got time and space to put a bit of power down, take a couple more risks, not too many. He's got 3 seconds on Adam, who in turn has 3 seconds on Bruce. Went a little bit deep into turn 3, did Bruce there, and Duds is going to be all over the back of him. We'll go on floor camera for this one. There's Duds right on the back of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's going to have to defend. Is he into turn 5? He doesn't. Very late on the brakes is Bruce. He's gone a little too deep. He's had to concede the place. A little error from Bruce Lee. It's going to invite Fordyce up the field. Fordyce obviously getting caught out by whatever happened at the start. Dropped right down like a stone to the back of the field, but up to 6th, and he can see 4th, which would be an incredible recovery if he can catch and pass both Bruce Lee and Duds. But these two drivers of Duds and Bruce Lee, they've raced before, they've had coming together during practice sessions in the past, so there's certainly no strangers to one another. And Mehanesta's gone backwards. Rally Matt leads the race. Well, 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 we haven't seen it on circuit. Mehanesta had a huge gap. A little mistake. I'm assuming it's going to be through turns 7 and 8. Rally Matt leads with just less than 7 minutes to go. Dragon Trail Seaside, just like it did in the McGanns, throwing up a lottery here. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a fun ride to the last 6 minutes of this race. Anyone can win this. Budweiser making a comment on the liveries there. They are fantastic. Mehanesta 1.7 now behind Rally Matt after leading by about 5 seconds at one stage. Adams 3rd. Duds 4th. Bruce Lee and Fordyce now together as a trio on circuit. We'll go on board with Fordyce as he comes into turn 2 for the 8th time of asking. Fordyce taking a tighter line. Oh, Duds is sideways. Duds is very sideways coming out of turn 3. Here comes Bruce Lee. He's going to see the opportunity. He's going to try and go along the inside. Surely they're going to have to give each other space. They just about do. Bruce has done well to avoid not hitting the back of Duds there. But they filter through. A little bit of a twitch from Bruce. Got to be careful. Doesn't want it to go around. You can see Bruce Lee and Duds getting very close to one another now. It's gone a little bit deep into the corner though as Bruce. Fordyce will get a nice run coming out of it. Bruce is still trying to sort himself out as he comes through the little rise at turn 9. Fordyce is going to have the slipstream. Bruce Lee's going to have the slipstream, but he's going to go defensive instead as they come towards turn 11. Bruce leaves a gap. Fordyce just slots himself into it. But Duds and Fordyce and Bruce Lee having a great fight in this last quarter of the race. Bigsy's gone deep at turn 11 and Les just takes the place away from him. Didn't need a second time of asking on that one. Joey Dunlop and Traumatic Dave have found themselves together on circuit. Watch out for these two on the reverse grid race. These two are going to be quick, I'm fairly certain of it. Got caught out themselves during that opening laps incident coming through the chicane. You see, Joey got the line wrong again, and Dramatic Dave is going to take that as an opportunity to try and swing one way or the other, but he couldn't make his mind up. And he has to stay behind as they come towards the final corner. Dramatic Dave just backing off, doesn't want to hit the back of him. Back at the front. Mehanesta must be thinking. He must be crossing his fingers for a mistake from Rally Matt. Rally Matt looking imperious. That lap time he did, a 51.7, fantastic during the race. On the hard tyres as well. Mehanesta 2nd, Adam 3rd. Duds still 4th, Bruce still 5th, as is Fordyce in 6th place. Further a little bit back from that, Les is just lower than 5 seconds behind now. But we're going to concentrate on this trio of cars, because they've been very close, and Fordyce is trying to look for a move somewhere. But Bruce Lee is obviously in that position to try and attack and defend. He's got a nice line, has Bruce. Whether he can take advantage of that coming out of the switchbacks through here. Clips over the curb. He's going to have the slipstream and the momentum coming forward. You can see Duds has gone to the inside, but Bruce Lee has capitalised, looks to the inside. He's gone brake later. Up the inside, the car tweaks a little bit. He's got a nice double bump from both Fordyce and Duds. That's a very unique way of overtaking someone. And Bruce Lee moves into 4th. And Fordyce, Duds is trying to go alongside him. He's going to have to surely back out, and he does. Sensible from Duds as Fordyce goes so close to the wall. Bruce Lee did as well. They're going to be fighting for this in the last 4 minutes. This is rather 3 minutes. There's effectively 2 laps to go. Bruce just taking a tighter line. Oh, Duds has gone deep. He's made a little bit of contact with Fordyce. Dudds realistically should give that spot back. There was a little bit of contact. It was very, very late from Fordyce. He tried to avoid it. Fordyce is going to be on the inside as they come towards turn number 2. On the outside for 1, of course, as you can see on your screens. Fordyce will probably brake a little bit later. Just slides himself up the inside. Dudds trying to turn when there's a car there, and Dudds takes the place. So, oh, he's gone over the curb as Dudds. Got to be careful, the drivers. 2 or 3 risque moves would be described as. And look at Les's pace. A 51.2. That is phenomenal speed from Les. Driving angrily. No doubt after his mistake before. So, this lap and the next left to go. And the battle for 4th is still on. There's 1.2 to Bruce, but with Les going so quickly and Dudds and Fordyce especially fighting so hard, this is certainly not over. Dudds is defending on the inside as they come towards turn number 11. On the brakes, Fordyce just lining this up. Dudds goes a little bit deep into turn 11. Fordyce looks to cover the inside, which he's done. Dudds couldn't get there. And Fordyce has a great amount of momentum, but they're going to go side by side through the chicane. Got to be careful again. They're leaning on one another, but Dudds surely this time will slot in, and he does. They give each other, look how close they are. Coming through the chicane, that was fantastic. The 2 cars now hurling themselves towards turn number 18. On the inside goes Fordyce just to defend. Dudds looks to go around the outside. A little bit of door-to-door handle going on as they come around this final corner. Bruce Lee, watching all of this in his rear view mirrors, can't get away, but Fordyce has got up the inside and took that place. Les, though, has joined in the battle. What is this lap time going to be? I don't think it is an improvement. It's still a 51.5. 2.4 gained. Les can sniff a top 5 with 40 seconds to go. Dudds is going to look to the inside. Not close enough. Little bit of contact between the 2. Dudds has got to be careful of that. That will be brought up. Got to be careful. No penalties from this, but a warning. Has to be careful. Danzo in 8th place. He's been very quiet during this race, but he's moved himself through the field. Dudds is still looking for a move. It's not quite close enough. He's not got the best of momentum. Exits coming out of the corner. Les is going to see this. On the inside for the little kink at 6. And Les is... well, I don't really know what's gone on there, but Les has gone around the outside, and Les has got the place. So a wonderful move, despite the fact that we didn't really see it. It was very peculiar. But Les has got the place. He's up to 6th now. What a comeback from the front row for both Fordyce and Les, for that matter. But Fordyce especially. Dudds trying to look to the inside. I don't think he's close enough this time. He isn't. So, Bruce should, hopefully for him, hold on for 4th place. There's Adam in 3rd, Mehanesta, but we've got to cut forward to this man. Rally Matt has had a fantastic race. He's not put a foot wrong since lap 1. He took advantage of all the mistakes, all the chaos around him. He comes around this final corner, laps 18.05 once again. It's going to be, for the first time this season, Rally Matt 85 takes the victory here at Dragon Trail Seaside. Great result for him. Mehanesta takes 2nd after what could have been Adam ID just trying to clear that penalty. He's going to be fed. Look at this for the line. It's going to be Bruce Lee in 4th, but who's going to get there? Is it going to be Fordyce? He just holds on for his friend. Les in 6th then. Great comeback for those 2. Dudds in 7th. After a wonderful battle between himself and Bruce Lee and Fordyce. That was a good battle between those guys. Danzo is in 8th. Traumatic Dave comes home in 9th place. What could have been for him is very unfortunate. Bigsy in 10th. And Joey Dunlop will come home in 11th place in this very peculiarly placed camera. Tim 12th, 18.05 in 13th. But your race winner for round 2, race 1. Technically speaking, race 3 of the series. It's Rally Matt 85. 3 races, 3 different winners. Can we make it 4 from 4 in the next one? What a great race that was. Superb to watch. So, there will be a little breather now for the drivers. They will have the chance to go through. Bruce saying happy with that. despite being abused heavily. I didn't see much contact for Bruce during that race, but it looked like he had a good scrap. Martin saying, good race, need to give a bit more room through some corners. I agree, wholeheartedly. Need to give a touch more racing room. Make sure the racing's clean. That's the key point in this series. So what will happen now is I will stop this stream, and then I will very quickly restart it, so that I can go through the sort of point tally and everything, and have a little chat as well with the Twitch chat as well in terms of predictions for race 2. You can see the tyres have been switched over. It gives the drivers a nice little chance to practice in between the race 2 start and the break. But for the time being, wherever you might be in the big wide world, have a good one. See you shortly.